Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. How do I even begin this? There's a company within the cryptocurrency space who is always in the news. They've been in the news for a number of years and they'll continue being in the news. A number of years ago, they told us that they would have an enormous amount of partnerships as the years would end up going on. There was a lot of skepticism as to if this was going to actually end up happening. But over the course of the last 2 to 3 years, it has become abundantly clear that they were telling the truth the entire time. In always popular, always relevant, always significant news, and just going to show exactly how strong and how far we've come along in the cryptocurrency space, always keeping in mind between this channel and the other channel, The Modern Investor, I make daily cryptocurrency videos. And just about every single day, 99% of the time, the news is fantastic and wonderful and amazing and absolutely crazy. It's just a matter of like the general public beginning to pay attention to this like revolution that we see happening in front of us. Ripple. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I know you knew that I knew that you knew that it was going to be about Ripple. As I say thousands of times before, I find the negativity sometimes from certain members within the cryptocurrency space to be quite peculiar, in that there are a multitude of other cryptocurrency projects out there that are poo-poo, like just straight up doo-doo. They don't have partnerships. No one's using them. And I mean, like, not even like from a company perspective, like actively, like your coin being traded on a cryptocurrency exchange is not usage. I mean, like, I want like real world utility. Who's using it? Who's making use of your coin? How many active users do you have per day? How much money is flowing through your blockchain over the course of a day, a week, a year? Do you have any active interest as opposed to companies that you have created yourself that you are then telling to use your own blockchain? There's also a very big thing going on right now. There are a couple of projects out there who have made other companies, and they told those companies to use their blockchain. And that is the news that we keep getting, that there's a brand new company who's using it. Look at the partnership that we have. But when you go over the news every single day, you realize that they actually made the company themselves. So they're just using themselves. Ripple has made yet another significant announcement. For those of you who haven't been paying attention over the last couple of years since the US SEC lawsuit began and is now like slowly crumbling around us, they've actively partnered with a number of different countries, and that's quite significant. There's not a I'll put it this way: you can't name me 10 other blockchains that have 5 other blockchains that have. And I'll even one up it for you. Ripple, we know Ripple has actively partnered with at least 14 central banks around the world. Can you show me 3 other blockchains that have done that? That's the really weird part, is that we know that this news is true, but people continue to buy the poo-poo for whatever reason. They don't want real money in their actual portfolio. Ripple has announced, as they did many years ago, there were a number of cryptocurrency projects who announced that they would be focusing on places that do not currently wholly have access to the traditional financial system. These tend to be regions and continents that the wealthiest people on the planet purposefully excluded from the current financial infrastructure that we have right now for very 1920s reasons. However, one of the main ideas about the cryptocurrency space is that it's for everyone. It can be used by everyone everywhere around the globe. And this is why I think we began to see a lot of pushback over the course of the last couple of years. You can't tell these poor people that they can have access to money. It just doesn't make any sense. So there's a very large, or has been from a very few amount of companies within the cryptocurrency space who have actively targeted payment corridors within Latin America, Africa, and Southeast Asia, because these historically have been left out of the current financial system that we have right now. Back onto it, Ripple announced a deal with an African payment company known as En Afrique. I believe it is a play on words. I do speak French. It is, or would be, We Africa, Us Africa, or simply On Africa. It's missing an E and it's spelled with a Q, but if you say it out loud, it's En Afrique, and it would be like We Africa. The point is, they announced that working with this one company, they're going to have a multitude of new corridors for payments. One of the main ideas, not completely, but one of the main ideas for XRP is that it'll basically be the payment corridor for regulated transactions. That is to say, we know that Bitcoin and Ether and yada, yada, yada can be used around the world the same as XRP. But XRP has like a little bit of a twinge of difference where they want to be used by companies and corporations because they believe that one of the main ways in the future that crypto will be used is in a very regulated manner. So therefore, if you partner with the companies and the banks and the institutions in the countries who may not be too keen on the idea of a world where people can kind of go willy-nilly and do whatever they want, you can say, hey, we will help you to make a regulated payment rail so that you can see where all the money's going within the different countries around the world, and at the same time also still be an open blockchain. They announced that this new partnership will actually allow them 27, that's the number 2 and then 7, 27 African countries are going to be using XRP as the actual payment rail. So basically you can build something on top of it. I was going to try and do like a train track with my finger, but I realized I don't have enough fingers to be able to do that. You know what a payment rail actually is. 27 new payment rails in Africa. This will also extend to Australia, the United Kingdom, and also to the Gulf Cooperation Council. These are a number of countries within the Middle East. There's a little chart right here. So basically they're going to be, it's a three-pronged approach. It is going to be En Afrique within Africa, Pay Angel in the United States, and PYYPL in the Middle East that are all going to be using XRP as their payment method border rails. The PYYPL in the GCC, that is the Gulf countries, including Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. We also had news recently as well that Ripple has officially become legal within Dubai, and therefore they will also be using it as well, as they are part of the UAE. There's a little quote here. I don't think I have to read it. They're talking about the benefits. It's awesome, faster, money, something about going around the globe and all that other stuff. I like when I make these videos because, as I've stated before and many others, I want to make sure that everyone has this information. All this information is so significant that I think sometimes it overpowers the mind. If we had just this news, that one alone, back in 2017, the market would have completely lost their mind. I think people very rapidly within this space lose sight of actual news. I know that prices are important. I got it. I know everybody wants to make money, but you also have to look at reality and the way that things are going. If you've been invested in a coin for a couple of years that has no partnerships, is not being used, and nobody wants it, and no banks are talking about it, and then you look across the table and you see a company just opened up 27 different payment corridors within Africa alone, and that's in one article. That's one thing that they did. They announced this on one day, and Ripple's in the news 3-4 times a week with stuff that they're doing. I don't actively understand how you can make sure that you're not with the winner. That's a personal thing that I'm going to throw out there. So yeah, in just about everyday news, Ripple has once again, I guess this also counts as multiple different partnerships. at the exact same time, so it's not just one. But they, and I don't want to sound cringy by saying this, but they kind of continued to win all the time. They said years ago that they were going to do this. There were many chains, many a chain that said they would do this years ago. And Ripple's the only one actively the company who's really continuing to do all this stuff. And also, last point before we end the video. Normally, we don't hear good news like this constantly every single day before a bull run. So usually after the halving has happened, there's going to be an avalanche of news. Like, just wait, it's going to get completely out of control. This is all happening while they actively still have a lawsuit going on in the United States and before the halving has even happened. So I can't even begin to imagine when I personally believe the coin is going to go back above the previous all-time high. I saw people arguing on Twitter before that XRP is never going to go back there, and I don't know. I don't know what they're on. But I think we're going to live in a very interesting world where a lot of people will only understand after the price is too restrictive for them, and then they'll kind of see what was going on. But yeah. I do sincerely hope that you have all enjoyed. As always, the article will be in the description below for you to be able to read it for yourself. I do hope you've all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.